parked but rusting away, no ties. Some are entirely grounded. They are entirely grounded. And when you look into your shot, there are some VIP buses as well.
For some reason, after the persistent reduction in fuel prices, which led the transport organizations to announce a 15% reduction in transport fares, there are some operators within the system who thought that they could engage in rent-seeking behavior by creating artificial shortages. So
it's not easy, though. I lost my phone through this mess.
You lost your phone through this mess?
Yes.
We can't fill up already. We fill up. See what I tell you.
Yeah, Mama Kasoa, who see
I'm an agriculture minister.
And the mum near you would.
Hey, I got pet cats. I'm a
Mary, why, yeah, dear. Because you know, say, I brand you will wear Juma.
Oh, so far, dear.
It was also the question on Makoma at Dan Swan Casa, just say.
It was an initial arrangement just to cater for the festive periods, which we did, and it was very helpful. But we realized that when they were withdrawn, it created some challenges. So I re-engaged the MD of Petro Mass Transit Limited and then the Intercity STC coaches, and they have reintroduced some few of them.
Officer Yam Pamono said, Mamma Kai, and I said, Yana overreacted. Baby, I will take Oka, Union ye, and I also work out Tony Bian also walking. Say, I know be the answer, a wolf now for comments no, to conversation. I say. Mammy,
Max,
I must say a problem, you.
Problem, Ben. No,
almost say,
sad, dear Chimbia.
But wait, Omuyan gas very part of money as my. Who go pay mu a Accra and the Kumase. Na Accra didn't need a dution. Who had killed pa or massa, Inano, and Yabianum got to.
I'm quite day.
And Yabadum got to.
I dare no quay.
On Becagofi.
And no more how.
Or more how Niana say on Pecard. Namas are not Trotro Binio. Or must it Trotro shorty? I must say,
then a shorty.
Yeah, baby, dear Kotogo, and now broken up for so. It's in a casa shorty. After young Bora. Yes, say road minister. Honorable Joseph Booker and the say, or Fred GPRTU for say, or Momu, one, where's a 30 minutes a pet, or Mundu office, and make it to the dear. Casa shorty. Now, almost say to price, Mukoso say, I do not to pet. And a lot of fair, a cut up. A run up and down. Or make it to me say, na cars, a team short is I.
GPRTU, for Mepamucho, assembly hammer pa. And he said, Messi Taifa, Namia Juma wa Accra. Ba me ba, me free Taifa ba Accra. My fat car 4 no brown. And come when you baby, I'm going to be a normal fair. Baby, fair no. A double, and pay for yes, Ramon. There was a pay for no man. I dear drivers, anyone who makes a yes, I see an idiot. I know the papa say I am higher, a better by 2 years' time. Or may I hear any problem? And yes, Ramon, pa, man paying what a Roma. Oh, sorry, and I'm saying, I'm swatted in answer sono. Drivers, no one try it.
One say Ghana na nkasa no. Emuti memufo na ewum na so na bia meka say ya abro.
Beni be ye ka ho.
Abro pa ye de. Esansa a driver for senka enipa ni ekwan mu a omo fa ka akwa ka meka say ye ni ekwa adwuma enipa ni honum ye nya adwuma nya sika ni honum e kan ba ye bo aban ne sobo. Ba ye say de enipa wo krom enkora bie school ko school wo hwe enra da pa se de school fo esi stranded wo kwan so na woni mi ade akora yakora wo mu kakra no so na omo se omo do mbe ye adwuma wo nkran no so no ombu ni tot ayese crazy no mama kwato ba ko ne fa.
How long have you been here for?
At least I came and joined the queue before I went to pick my children from school. Okay. But actually I came and joined the queue around 3 o'clock. But since I came back, I've been here probably 50 to 60 minutes, let's say 1 hour now.
Just waiting for a ride home?
Yes, yes.
What's the experience like for you? Is this frequent? Is this what happens every time?
That's it.
Wow.
So sometimes the guys who watch here do call some buses to come and assist us whilst there is no car.
Okay, so do you have an alternative, or you just have to wait until you get a car?
You have to wait until we get.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Please, how long have you been waiting here for?
I would say approximately 30 minutes now.
Wow, okay. And
I close around 5 o'clock. So.
And you've been in this queue for 30 minutes.
Yes, I would say
just waiting for a ride home. Would you say that the delay or the time you spend here has affected your evening, or does it affect your evening?
Yes, actually it has, because right now I'm heading towards church, and then I'm on a program and looking at how the waiting in this queue has affected me. I don't think I can meet my time, and also considering the traffic that out is a lot. So yeah, that's really affected.
And what do you think the government can do about this?
Okay, providing us more vehicles, especially with the long ones, long buses. You see that one is long and it can contain a lot of, the people around. So I think if he can provide us with one, it will really help reduce wasting much time for cars, and then yeah.
Okay. And personally, how long have you been coming to the bus stop? Like, is this an everyday thing for you?
It's an everyday thing for me because I don't have my personal car. So it's an everyday for me that I have to come here and then get a car to my destination. If not, so it's an everyday thing for me.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
And please, concerning this issue with transportation and you having been in the queue for long, does this affect your evenings?
Yes. I'm affecting me because why be traffic still unyaka and she high me traffic.
Is this a situation that you face often, or it's unusual?
Sometimes it may happen, but it's not the beer. And yet the beer now, so I didn't happen. But from last year, and I didn't continue years after.
So for how long have you been in this queue?
Oh, I just came.
You just came?
I just came.
Okay. But looking at how the queue curves all the way to the other side, how long do you think it would take you to get a ride home?
Yeah, 2 hours or 3 hours.
Okay, and what do you think governments can do about this?
The government no oye found say Ultra Trotro no and the workrooms they say, but government cars no enough. And she may say and cover more buses about rooms in a bay and so you who bay high.
Mahudu so near Krujema. Let me feel me say traffic at it. It's not more. Yeah, Pekawa station in Yenyabi. Until say me Nancy Coco, my new man say, cars not a choking air but traffic at it. Into any idea, a big one into Omo Maya, almost do Oma no Benabia for Biaco. Even though they are ready, so my friend panel. Omaka trafficking. Way any the issue of traffic, mom.
Say, and I make her say, would the young fan Accra the no crown for near example, say. Said the na Accra ni pesi ya bwa pe so shep kwanya obi a pre no ho so bia to what ya say obi akwa adwuma nanso na die be nti adwembone nti kakra no so na omo ye adwuma okwa ni mu no wo fa wa o ye bia wo kwa Amasaman da bi on fa nu ho dudu efifi ho no no adrop o be hwane asapai Amasaman no asaba be na no refer no kra ne senka oje enu akra no kra na nka enye omo ya wasade bi atoso won so anse omo fa nkonkodru station ho obu nu to saa na wie no wo se o man ni munya wo de kwa kwosha aban wan kasa timamuni so kra yo ho aburo bi obi a na dwe so obeso obu ni nua
okay COVID time
sanitizer
nose mask
any sanitizer
sanitizer na obi ampe no automatic nose mask na do 20 Ghana
e bia hwiri ko soro
mo one sata na obi a ho tire no obi ankwa adwuma o obi nko bi ma o but still Ghana ni for means and way say and you miss me ko
season
mo driver for no say omo so mo pensu ni see here cars in sheda ni 16 ni mu no
omo koko na aso
but that mentality you be address it later.
It was an initial arrangement just to cater for the festive periods, which we did, and it was very helpful. But we realized that when they were withdrawn, it created some challenges. So I re-engaged the MD of Metro Mass Transit Limited and then the Intercity STC coaches, and they have reintroduced some few of them. We are looking at the daily basis movement and seeing if we need to add more, then we'll add more. Again, we are also at the verge of seeing how we can get the private sector to bring in more of the buses and other vehicles to be able to help when they get to peak hours in the mornings and in the evenings. But we have called back. When we withdrew the services, we saw the tension it created, and we have called back some of the buses to start again making their movements. We are studying the ground to see whether they will need more or we will have to continue with the skeletal or the small number that we have operating.
Madina say, as that transport minister, me shall say, Kasi and Pam no Ganyane. On any deputy, on the photogenic. So video, baby, go be no video no. I said the model.
Say no, or the babe to or de chere.
What's it?
So the chere Ghana for. Yen share adwuma e na make say. We enye se wo kwa kwagina baabi no wetwetwa no ene ehia o. Na emom adwuma no je adwuma no.
We he adwuma no we he.
Si form say the others ministers ni bi si form no.
Simple.
Mo ba ye na railway. Aye nim say BP for call ye no mo antimi anye. Rail kwan ya o mo ba mo be ye ese ne we. Munye ye bi. Ema ye hu se Africa se no kra na eso betimi ate ye de amaye.
Ntimi nye. Enye sa transport minister we ni deputy.
Oh, ewiase.
Omuntimi nye.
Bibia ne ho ka so o ya ntimi nye.
Na me ahwe de wabon no wabon.
Eh ya aburo.
De wabon no wabon.
Wo de ne hwe nye yi.
Aye. Me say de wabon no nkrofo we edu December pressure buy. E wona na omahunya hu say oh, se bus e short na manfo bra. Yemfa STC bus mbewuram. Yemfa Metro Mass bus mbewuram.
No.
Me pacho yedi Christmas ni we no. The same problem and persist. I don't know we bus already draw bus no back.
Na me buses no kra mo ha wo ho. Se Ghana hanu say se wo hwa ade se ade bia ya aban ade bia no. Ne aye ni say basa. STC bus no ofuru bi da. Sa ade e kan se kofo bus no ofuru bi da.
Metro Mass me fu.
Ofuru bi da. Ofuru bi bia obefe.
Enyama kono gra.
Ofuru bia obefe. Je se emu ni nyo. Seat aye basa car no kra air condition bia ni me na bia from Sunwai to Kumasi we expect me say me mra me fro eye Metro Mass abra
air conditioning say na e ba na bi wom o ma say no
e na me say aban na nkasa ne ma ne yenhwe ne yi o because obi enye me dia enti ne edi aboro
ye mfa the right people ti bo go for bia ne afọ makota na ko because oye party ni
not
because of qualification oye party ni ne na betena ho
minimo no
saa na egusu
oye mbusuani ye kwa election kro na gina mu o ona na ewo amanfo fufu
mahama nche ye boss obaye sa nti minister we die on say na onim say after say we mass I want say GPRTU WARN we there work out was say was had the buses na say e ba kwan so bi this time around STC buses was had the Metro Mass buses eba ana amanfo bi say na your lolo bus na aka no I no credit the purpose was internal transportation anyway.
This is a yard that is housing a lot of buses. Most of them are the Ayalolo buses that were procured years ago, but they are still parked here. Most of them are rusting away, indeed, and you realize that some do not even have the tires fixed, and so they are just almost stationary here and not being used. This is the yard when you get to the Achimota new station, and that is the situation here. Many of the buses are here parked but rusting away, no ties. Some are entirely grounded. They are entirely grounded. And when you look into your shot, there are some VIP buses as well that are on the ground, almost falling apart. That is the situation here when you get to the Achimota news station. TV3, we have gotten this exclusive access. We are not being allowed to go inside to film, the exact defects of these buses. But you see that bus, for instance, that particular one with the front part broken. You see a lot of the buses, and when you enter, there are some that do not even have seats. These are buses that have been grounded here for years. Ever since they were procured, many of these buses have not been used even before. And you see some of the windscreens broken, and you see some of them having their tires entirely removed. It means that they have been grounded for several years. And so that is the real challenge. We are trying to see if we can quickly alight and get to pick a quick shot of some of the buses. So when you look at this bus, for instance, the one in your shot right now, you would realize that the windscreen is entirely off. And this has been the situation for years now. And then when you come here and take a closer look over there, you see the situation of those two buses. No tires. It's on the ground right now. It is entirely grounded. A lot of them. You can count almost 100 of the buses in this yard that are not being used or have not been maintained for several years, and so you cannot get to use them. This is like to be a fence wall that should keep the buses safe, but it is entirely broken down. So even though they told me earlier that I wouldn't get access, you would realize that I can easily get access now to even get inside to show you a lot more of it. But that is the situation here. Look at a lot of the buses here at the Achimota news station that are grounded in this yard but are not being used. And I'm sure that this is one of the transport minister would take a keen interest in if we are looking at bringing more buses, especially the agreement that we know has been signed to bring in about 100 of the EV buses, the electric buses, and even the current arrangement with Metromass to get more of their buses coming into town to transport people. But you see a lot of them here. See, these ones, all their tires have been removed. And you realize that it is almost the same situation when you look at most of the buses that are in this yard. Let me show you just another of the bus with the windscreens and everything torn apart. Nothing to write home about. This one, even if you decide to maintain, it would cost you a lot. You are better off staying away from anything maintenance. So that is it.
Media say what the buses in the beba. Fine, what they ba. See, near Pessetimum phone on Hoto. And you say what the beba. Then yet me about a year, Jumanania Mark when your bed dear to me, I come. Obiani winnie how.
Wouldn't say, as I be causing more problem.
Problem says,
Wouldn't say, was him the canker issue of traffic.
Yes,
yeah, among him say, the only problem we ever solve a price hiking. No. Say, Rolf now the cost around there.
Yes.
And no bus in the bar, a better no so. But Saka no munyan. I feel the Bay West because what's a long buses. Long bus means say 5 buses per SSCR automatically air traffic.
And no,
I can't be a choked. That's it in a man planet. Baby a choked. In the car, ever call a boo who's a can bus be over. Who be no afro because or coin on your mind or the last onion. And what to be Mansam first?
Etina make us say, yeah, driver for na Casabino so no. So we do traffic moon said the obesi and oh, may qua am a minu be a baby. Obejina quem, and one wood dinner, I'm OBSA, and one a wood dinner, no one fenipa, anything in Aka will be. And now my traffic not also Accra.
Then as a transport minister, oh yeah.
And Tennessee
call up with the MTT, the normal
Jumano. My radio the TTA condition moon yes him tie. Any year will be passed. I
say, how do you and in school school wala
and to crop for next from
to see when on ne debit no omo dey no office ngwan na mo di mo no metima na
is that there are some transport operators who are engaging in rent-seeking behavior, because ordinarily transportation is a largely private sector driven activity in Ghana. We have these transport unions, GPRTU and what have you, who organize transport systems that convey the generality of our people. For some reason, after the persistent reduction in fuel prices, which led the transport organizations to announce a 15% reduction in transport fares, there are some operators within the system who thought that they could engage in rent-seeking behavior by creating artificial shortages. So, Komla, you and I know that if, for instance, you wanted a vehicle from, say, the heart of the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, or circle as we used to call it, to Achimota, you go to a particular spot at the station where you know you are most likely to catch such a vehicle. Now, some of these operators do not go to the designated spots. They roam in the hope that the shortage that is created will compel passengers or commuters to part with more money than they should ordinarily pay. They are creating scarcity to drive up prices so that they can engage in rent-seeking behavior. It is unlawful activity, and it must be looked at. Government indeed is looking at it to ensure that those engaging in that activity are brought to order, because there's an agreement between government and the transport unions to fix transportation prices twice a year, unless some extraordinary circumstance dictates otherwise. So we urge the transport operators to adhere to the normal practice that we have known all these years and avoid this rent-seeking behavior, which is needlessly creating difficulties for passengers and commuters. The second issue is that you will recall that when the matter first arose, the Minister for Transport took decisive action by getting STC to release dozens of vehicles to augment what existed in the private sector. And this arrangement largely worked. It eased the situation significantly. We all know that during the festive season, there's an upsurge in passenger numbers. Understandable, because people want to get items from the business district or other notable trading spots for the festivities. And so there was an upsurge. After the festivities, I think that the vehicles were withdrawn. And we note that the rent-seeking behavior still persists. So the minister informs that he has asked the STC to put back the vehicles on the road. In addition to that, there are quite a number of Metro Mass buses that had broken down. So he has ordered their expedited servicing to ensure that in a matter of days, they are back on the road. But they will operate outside of their normal routes and schedules in order to take care of the present congestion that is going on. The minister also informs me that I think tomorrow or so, he has requested for a meeting with the GPRTU and other transport operators to address the issue of rent seeking, to call those engaged in that activity to order, so that the hardship is alleviated. But ultimately, a lot of work is being done to increase the fleet of the Metro Mass.
And only say because of sir, we nipa choky wa krent no. Any amount for any amount so yira. Ya no so do omo ho agim.
Oh, eno no be kan.
Ya no do omo ho agim.
Abrante ba ko a o so ye adwuma for foreign affairs ministry na so kwa minim o boss. Oguja to black was o abremo basis for about 5. O go fro Trotro ye den. O se o go fro Trotro ni fun pa yakle.
Basis no dey abre omo na bi ko ne ho no man ko kwa dealer mu so kwa fa car.
Ono ne boss ne kan ni minim.
It's not easy though. I lost my phone through this mess.
You lost your phone through this mess?
Yes, and I'm just appealing for the government if it can intervene for us. We'll be very happy for that.
Where are you heading to right now? Where do you work?
I'm at Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
And I'm heading to Amasaman.
Amasaman. So you're also part of the Amasaman queue. So what's your name?
I'm Benjamin.
Benjamin lost his phone through this, and usually when it happens like this, and especially when you go to the bus terminals along the roadside, you realize that all manner of people gather there. So when you are unlucky or you don't take extra caution or care, you get to lose a lot of your things, especially your valuables in the process. So you see a lot of people, a lot more of people who have all gathered here, all waiting for it to get to their turn. Then they would get to find spaces in some of these vehicles before they get back home. And so that is the situation here. It is actually one that many would describe as a crisis, and the fact that over the period the country has not been able to deal with it. But let me show you this side as well, because you realize that a car has just arrived and people are making way into it to get space so that they are able to get back home. And so that is it. I should suppose or guess that this particular vehicle is heading towards somewhere Teshi, and so that senior more quiet fam. But I say Moko Triblo, okay. So this vehicle is headed towards Triblo, somewhere Teshi.
Kronu say na be koso akoso ye ne amanfo sika be yira pa.
Na no die.
Bags be yira pa.
Na no die.
Na eno na Don Demelo. I was West Wagon. MP and Deputy Minister Edema Agriculture. Papa ne say o say legonfo ni bi su say eh ye ko school ye ko sunya de ewie ye prefi akoso adan bo ati bi.
This order queen.
Aba. Ana papa ne say oh I dey for you. We call organize buses or say we short term and the mom na or planning long term. Say there emre bi etwem do election time o mom bus mo ni kofi ni nkona be. Obeso we na onya permanent buses and the mom nti o ma Metro mass bus in the buy. And I say, before we go, I'm saying.
Hey, buddy.
Madam.
Hey, honorable. Hey, honorable.
La Paz freak out.
We can't full up already. We full up. See what I tell you.
We're not persuaded there.
I swear.
Say Deputy Agri Minister. Eso be ye transport minister mama na.
Ye wi ya. Na ye se wona aso ye ne ye de ahye won sa.
Na emi won wase dwo mama onya mpamo no.
Say bi opamo na. E we so be kwa.
No ko ne ni maduma ye.
Say ne ye.
Ono ndisi for mema na sana.
Oh say bi aso omo no. Every before ka say we have the men no man ka so omo so mbu bi. Nti say omo mema. E wo form.
Manka eti ase.
Say omo mema.
Ba kwa we pa de. Toothless bulldog almo no you.
Akaya. Obegu na djuma.
We me say akwa we won ne deputy. And I work in house of all. Omo ntwe tehu. What is say work in house minister wakasada? Rent issue go through na what wakasada. Omunim ne dimpo. Sa ongrofo ministry amanfo ni omudi.
Because obi anim na djuma kra wo ye.
O de nka pedi boni mpo ne ehu ni e. Mo amoni mu ni papa mo nye adamusa.
And see dey share baby. Ye ya ye nkasa. Ye ma me kasa ma ohun si ye
kasa. Wa agric minister.
Ene mum na yi wo djuma.
Ego pe kasa ma ma.
Mero wa ya ade. Because me ya come say abranti wo bo adwuma.
Oh so far there.
Because what say ne question na omakoma eda ne so ankasa je say.
Unim say me hwese time na 2016. Sa V8 issue no buy no. Amama je decide nipa hon. The OTB ya no we wa say say people look at the change that you have become. From there, I was just a prayer olusi saba back here obi wini. Yenu Christmas kura da papa ya che monwa e de ma akunafo o de chema
oh si nyina ehu bi o ga na hanu si ehu ne
why we na we do basa every election president election time nya mama bas school for mo fan kofi ngoto aba but even after say o mo to ba na wie o da so mo basa no
enti wo de wa sha asie no wonye ne nkaka nkakra bia na president hu a no wasade no so wasa kan adwuma no wasade amaye
mo because wasate agree na eduru ho
so wasa ampa it was asiesie no
na hu say okra sa
ye adwuma na bia ba ko na wo hye ho no do no ahye ye ho no kra no wabon wo ho no ne etimi sa ade aka ho we ye ne niam a ye pese ye hunu wo mayi mu we ene niam e pese ministers ni bebire na so de o mo ye
ne ho toye
so what ase adwuma na bi ono hu say eye ne nua no wontimi nye eti no mam na meboa no eti do dim nika aba na bi o boboa eye
na ne nua no ne deputy no omo ye ma de so mpemwa
ne se omo mpemwa kra na ono wontina ho maga na fon so fa because okokwohwe anwumre Accra bi ni mutumi so ri ba 2 no afi no wo sori no wo kwa adwuma o
na be kwa ehu
2 am no was na adwuma wade no obeye
2 am na nkasa o life is at risk akronfo timi hia o
bibia timi to what any time
o ye ba kra de o risk any times too because obetimi agi phones
obetimi review
asaka ho wo be ga se me ho ye de me fa ma no
ye be wo se kan
akun na wa ye brebra fa ni mapi abeduru 4 o'clock se wa duru station afi opeka onya ka na wasa ye brebrebre abresa sa ade akogoduru edumum wasa pon no
ene opeka so ene so wonye
ni obi ana o twere se onanti ya koduru circle ono onya ka o se brebbre okọ ashaman o se goduru eno ese o sa nanti bio because ogoduru no kan se ni o se to aso bio ono se
we de wakaton tana dia to aso we wakaton
na mu mo yi
dia to aso na wona wo ko
we oyi adebechi obebedum na omre wa bretam
ana ko tina adwuma mu a e won effect ne be kwa adwuma ne so o ti adwuma mu ana woda.
I keep on saying this, roads and transportations, so productivity in the country be ko ya just any man minu so my imagine say eno so amonye road minister go so oye kwan and don't forget say Accra ye can congestion be ni na any traffic be in na hey roads na ye now because there's more big cars in the town the baby enough first no cars be at 10 ayen kete faso no car miensa pe e fa wa ayema ti mo maka na muka chire
na ama na bo ape so
until say ye be ma MTD for say that can say driver phone bi so eduebo wa phone nipa no baby eni kwa so ogina no ono be gina phone nipa ono be gina si nipa enti MTD for more
okwo kan so kra de a ne drivers ni mate ni de
mo ni matem di rough
mo no me say yi na adwuma no komu a eno no ka emra no ho bie say ne sua say de esi di atem de a en de minim
eno de one sua kan wa driver M5 because kan ga mate no amafo better atam ti say o to tata ho de no mu sua kan but ne kura na ne say ya na transport minister
ebe ye dia ni na adwuma no
ontimi nye
nti ese wo pa che say
ontimi nye John Dramani Mahama onim de say oye
nti wo mpam no
na say reset how dey reset
nti wo so a wo hwe wo gidi si mpam na na
mo
wo de o gidi si mpam na fa comment ne brase wo no
menye sure si papa na ono ne bakura fitness so onto adwuma no so
wo gidi si mpam na road minister mpam ne dia fa comment ne brase wo
deputy efese
kan ya dia
dogas a full said dey
ono kwa de
on the oye model wey aye naked truth enti officer ye mpam no se na mama akua kan yi anase ye na ye overreact baby a wote uka unya ne ye anase wo so waka ton ni bia na wo so working se aye no bi dia na se obuafu se ebuafu na fa comment no at comment section ase boko uwi a hu na wa subscribe wa like na wa share mo unya enya bi ahwe edi no eye ba ko pe Maxi Billian mini minua ba
mama akua
Oldboga trends yakra bye bye.